what's a black grand national? Fuck being rational, give them what they ask for. It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G bag. Yeah, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga. What? They like, what he on? This the Alpha and Omega, bitch. Welcome home. This is not a song. This is a revelation. How to get a nigga gone. I need you a man, baby. I don't understand, baby. Pay a bill and make you feel protected like I can, baby. Teach you something if you need correction. That's the plan, baby. Don't put your life in these weird niggas' hands, baby. Wow! It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G bag. Yeah, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga. What? Hey, turn this TV off. Ain't with my type activities, then don't you get involved. Hey, look, how many shit I see? Send them off. Take a risk or take a trip. You know I'm tripping for my dog. Who you with? Couple sergeants and routines for the get back. This revolution been televised. I fell through with the knickknacks. Hey, young nigga, get your chili up. Yeah, I meant that. Hey, black out. If they act out, yeah, I did that. Hey, what's up, though? I hate a bitch that's hating on a bitch and they both hoes. I hate a nigga hating on them niggas and they both broke. If you ain't coming for no chili, what you come for? Nigga feel like he entitled cause he knew me since a kid. Bitch, I cut my granny off and she don't see it how I see it. Got a big mouth, but he lack big ideas. Send him to the moon, that's just how I feel. Yeah, then it's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. Hey. Hey. Niggas acting bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off. 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 Ain't no other king in this rap thing, they siblings. Nothing but my children. One shot, they disappearing. I'm in a city with a flag beginning thrown like it was past interference. Padlock around the building. Crash pulling up in no more truck just to play freeze tag. With a bone to pick like it was sea bass. So when I made it out, I made about 50K from a show. Trying to show niggas the ropes before they hung from a rope. I'm prophetic. They only talk about it, how I get it. Only good for saving face, seen the cosmetics. How many heads I gotta take to level my aesthetics? Hurry up and get your muscle up. We up the plyometric. Nigga ran up by the Luxness, up the highest metric. The city just made it sweet, you could diabetic. They mouth get full of deceit. Let these cowards tell it. Walking New Orleans with the etiquette, the LA yelling.
Day, nothing changes. All I want is a moment to think clearly. But thoughts come unrelenting, consuming every waking moment. My mind binds me and I can't escape. I shout for help, but no one hears me. One day I feel I'll just disappear. Lost in this chaos, I'm searching for peace.
Raw after WrestleMania. Wow. This is totally the usual Raw team. Am I right, guys? And
yeah. Hey, we were here the whole time.
We were all here, and guess what? There's a fourth member here because, of course, joining me from the WrestleMania recap, it is our crew. Boy, truly a John Escudero. Nah, that is the John Escudero right there. Johnny Dirt Sheep, what is up, my man?
What's going on, y'all? What a Raw. What a Raw. We're going in Raw tonight.
Exactly.
After Mania, we're going
Lightning
in Raw.
round.
Lightning round.
Exactly. Hold on. I gotta do it properly.
Lightning round.
There you go.
Activate. All right, yes, guys, we are here to go through a lightning round because a lot of us have to go to bed soon for shoot jobs and things of the kind. But hey, I am not alone here. You already know John and I from this whole weekend, but we of course have from the usual Raw recap team, Mr. Caesar. Introduce yourself, my man.
How's it going, guys? I'm sitting down with the usual 4 people here. 3 people. One of the 2. Hanging out discussing Monday Night Raw, but of course it is Raw after Mania. Matt, over to you.
And say my name, and I am here. I am that corner review representing TNA, and we are here for the lightning round. All the wrestling, all the shenanigans, all the outlaw emotional bullshit. We are here for all of
it. There is definitely a lot to talk about. Hey, what is up, Jay? Saying, what a Raw. Then we have Nick, of course, in here. Was Raw better than Mania itself?
That's the bad part.
That is the saddest.
All right, good talk. Episode's over.
Honestly, that's all we needed to say. All right, see you guys later. No, I mean, honestly, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania is well known for years of having been one of the all-time greatest episodes. And there's been times in the past where it truly has been better than the WrestleMania that it was preceding it. But John, I want to throw this over to you first. You know, you were joining me with the WrestleMania recap shows. All in all, do you agree with that? Do you think that Monday Night Raw was better than Night 1 and Night 2?
It's hard to disagree. I don't think it's better than Night 2, but definitely Night 1. It was definitely a better Raw after Mania in a couple of years.
Woo! Absolutely. Matt, you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I think only Night 1 only liked 2, maybe 3 matches. And for Night 2, the first half was hot until after Orton Hendry. And then Raw was pretty good. Nice new stories, some kind of calls, but not really. Twists and turns. Hopefully the next couple months will give us something intriguing.
Absolutely. Caesar?
Yeah, it felt like you guys were saying, Night 1 had this, Night 2 had this, and then Raw had all of it. All we can do now is literally go, where do we go from here?
Yep, and that is truly the question of the day. And there's another John Escudero. What? There's two John Escuderos?
Who is that?
I've seen Veteran Brothers. There's a clone. There's a clone here.
Our boy John's saying it's a better experience than all of Mania weekend. And
he's always said that for Vaquer, which I agree. But
oh, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna absolutely. But I think first and foremost, as per usual, let's go right into that main event segment. We had Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Don't call him Walrus.
First match ever.
To close the show, CM Punk came out and basically just died yet again. He got UFC'd. Hey, they were present there. We saw Dana White like how many times during WrestleMania?
Once.
Yeah, at least. But yeah, so we're barely getting any type of word from Seth Rollins apart from the fact that we know he is truly a Paul Heyman guy. And CM Punk wants to get his payback, but it just doesn't happen. But you know what? Paul Heyman over CM Punk's corpse, his dead body. Paul Heyman says that Seth Rollins will be the #1 star heading into WrestleMania 42. However, Roman Reigns says, no, not in my house. OTC spears Seth until, wait a minute, he wanted to hit a Superman punch on the Wise Man? You can't do that. And you know what? A mysterious figure in a hoodie has stopped him. There's been a lot of mysterious returns in recent times of guys in hoodies. First we had Trent Beretta. Now we have Braun freaking Breaker making his comeback.
That's a terrible comparison.
Hey, I mean, that's what happened.
I know, I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what happened. But listen, Braun Breaker stops Roman Reigns. And we also have a spear to CM Punk. It almost looked like he was going to spear Rollins briefly and just take over the scene, but he went right past him. We had Braun Breaker destroy CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Not only does Paul Heyman have one new Paul Heyman guy, it appears he has two. Fellas, main event time. What did we think of this segment? Caesar?
I'm all for it. Like, originally, I was thinking to myself, oh, it's going to be Seth Rollins come out and do his thing, talk for a bit, and then everyone just show up. And then as soon as the hooded person showed up, I was like, who could this be? I started pulling names out of nowhere to think of who it could be. And, of course, the dog started barking. It's Braun freaking Breaker. And I'm, hands down, I'm just like, I don't know what the hell this is. I don't want to know what it is. I just want to see what's going to happen. It's going to be exciting. That's all I've got.
Absolutely. Matt?
Oh, no, I like that Seth didn't fully explain himself yet. We kind of know what was going on. Braun Breaker is the future of the WWE. Count that down. I don't know when, but he will be a main eventer and a future world champion for sure. But Punk and Roman against Seth and Braun for like a possible tag match. I'm all for it. And we got Heyman to flop around like a walrus to fall down of a cardiac arrest.
Oh,
during
no.
that bump. But no, I loved it. It was a great segment.
Yeah, John.
It was a good segment. Yet Paul Heyman took a tumble. I'm glad to see Braun Breaker getting that push to the main event scene. The Seth Rollins definitely going to be there soon enough. I think by Backlash with Paul Heyman by his side. Braun Breaker's going to be there right with him.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Braun Breaker looked like he belonged right up there. Borton saying, a new faction will be for me.
Yeah, Dangerous Alliance 2.0, essentially.
Yes, Matt, that is absolutely the deep cut reference I was seeking. And how can you blame me? I'm representing WCW on here for the WCW podcast and recap. So
He just needs the brick phone.
yes.
Give it a week. He'll get one just for you. Just so
Well, you
you'll
got
see
find one bigger than him. That's gonna be hard these days, but
Yeah, it'll be very flat now, that's for sure. But hey, we heard them say that Seth Rollins will be the #1 guy going into WrestleMania 42. Now, that's going to be a whole year away. Do you guys think that's going to actually happen? Just shout out yes or no, yay or nay.
Yay.
Depends on how this goes. That's really comes down to. I can see a main event in night one.
All right. John?
Yeah, I think he will. It's Seth Rollins. Hopefully by then he have the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is just making sure Seth Rollins can stay healthy. I mean, years of history have taught us that there's times where he goes into a WrestleMania either already hurt or he's just on the shelf. So I think it's definitely strategically aligned that they have Braun Breaker in there to join up with him. And hey, maybe some more people might join them along the way. Who knows?
Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, you know what? That would make
be
sense.
So scary. Braun and Jeff at the front with Seth as the visionary.
That
I doubt it,
feels
but you
like
know
a dangerous alliance.
I'll be happy. I'll be happy if it's Cobb.
Just give them the tag belts too.
Yeah. Yeah, and Paul can pop the cord. Yeah.
Paul's world champion.
I mean, hey, we just mentioned the word world champion, so let's go and manifest that and go to the very beginning of the show now. John Cena comes out and uses up the entirety of the pyro budget for the night. Crowd,
Yeah.
Are they sorry? Are they not sorry? I've been hearing a lot of mixed things. Did you guys catch that? What was the crowd actually saying?
We are sorry.
I heard we are sorry, but I like that Cena turned it around against them.
I thought they were gonna say we are sorry. No, we're not. So I was waiting for.
Yeah,
I heard a couple. No, we're not.
You gotta go on there and just say John Cena is a master at the microphone. No one can work the crowd to the levels of John freaking Cena.
Yep.
Yeah. And John Cena, especially too, the countdown that he was doing, when the dates hit 0, the professional wrestling timeline stops cold. Now that was a cold line itself.
The belt comes with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never see that legacy again.
Making sure to emphasize too, hey, I don't have to defend this title. I don't have to wrestle on those days. All I have to do is just show up. Nobody has the ruthless aggression of John Cena, and he said it in the way that we all know. Ruthless aggression.
Ruthless.
Shout out to SmackDown 2002 in Chicago.
With Kurt Angle.
John Cena, he'll team up with Seth Rollins. I could see it coming. That would be interesting.
Yeah. That would be...
I
Depends
don't
on what The Rock does if he ever shows up again.
Exactly. I do love some of the pictures. Most definitely they are AI generated, so we'll just leave that over here for now. But I've been seeing a lot of people having pictures of The Rock's group mixed in with Paul Heyman's new group. And, you know, in the time it's taken for people to generate those, it's a pretty interesting thing to consider, especially maybe down the line for War Games, perhaps. But, you know...
I don't see Cena doing the War Games.
Can you imagine? But
It's his last year. You never know.
exactly. But speaking of never know, you also never know when you're going to be hit with an RKO out of nowhere as John Cena stands tall for seemingly one of the last times that he can say he is the world champion of WWE. All of a sudden, he gets hit out of nowhere with the letters RKO. and O. And we have some interesting dynamics here because it's a face Randy Orton and a heel John Cena. Gosh, I even thinking back to like 2002, 2003, unless they did something in OVW, I can't really recall this happening. Do you guys think that's happened before? Outside of OVW?
No.
I don't think so, no. Because I think,
Well,
I think,
no,
I think Orton was injured when Cena was a heel.
even when Orton joined back when he was like a baby, he was basically with Evolution, was he not?
I was saying
for a
even
while.
before Evolution, he was kind of the baby face, then he got hurt.
Babyface legacy guy who, I mean, as John indicated, we look back too at, you know, from WrestleMania, he was wearing his debut attire when he took on Joe Hendry as a surprise opponent.
Yep.
And, you know, Randy Orton is truly one of the last WWF talents,
Ooh, name
debuting a month before they got the F out. So, you know, there's something there to it. But as Borden says, this will be the new world order coming back. I don't know necessarily if it's that. I mean, it's definitely in the same spirit, I would say.
Maybe one more member.
If it's like 50 people, then it's NWO.
50, come on, 60. Let's just add everyone.
Half the roster.
I'm a little disappointed in the sense that I really wish that Randy Orton would have joined up with Cena and Rock, but Rock's just nowhere to be found, so there goes that dream, I guess. But when it came down to this opening segment, I want to throw this out to you guys. John, you want to start us off?
Uh-oh.
Oh, can't hear you, John.
You're
Oh, you're
muted.
muted.
Yeah, I was muted. No, it was a John Cena segment though. It's kind of what I expected him to come out the world champion. You guys don't deserve me. It's a toxic relationship. Countdown days. It hit me. It was sad. We have only 27 appearances left with John Cena. That doesn't guarantee 27 matches, like you said. Randy Orton comes out here. That's one of them with a combined age of 93. In 2025, I want to see what they can do at Backlash. I want to see how they're gonna move.
Yeah, revisit it with a whole new dynamic. Matt?
I'm kind of glad they're getting this out of the way first because it's in Randy Orton's hometown. They've had history. They fought 2,000 times in the whole rivalry.
Only a couple
Right.
times.
And we're gonna get it one more time, and I'd rather get it out of the way. So this is a good move. Of Orton doing it next. So I'm looking forward to see how it's gonna go. Is it gonna be a classic? Probably not, but it might be a good story.
That's true. Caesar?
To kind of quote or paraphrase what John was saying, yeah, it was just John doing John things, giving the crowd heat or attitude, getting heat from everybody. You know, at least he was being, I almost want to say, genuine in his promo. And it was just listening, letting him do his thing. But then it's all of a sudden, with the RKO situation, and the crowd was getting loud, I was like,
Hey!
who's here? Hey, it's Mac. Yeah, it's like, who's here in the crowd? And then, of course, Randy just slowly creeps up and hits, again, the most dangerous letters in the company.
I was
RKO.
laughing. I was laughing when I saw a smile. I was like,
Oh, that Randy Orton grin?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
Thank God.
there was a point in time where it felt like you could just never escape a Cena and Orton match, and now it's weird to think that, like, this is the last time almost.
When was that? When was the last match together? Like, what, 8 years, maybe?
Something like that. Was it that, like, championship ascension ladder match? When they unified the titles?
Probably.
Maybe. Well,
Or have they met since then?
While you're doing that, I'm gonna go look.
Imagine that.
All right, awesome. But yeah, it's wild to think that this is the last time we'll see Cena and Orton together, at least, you know, in the ring wrestling one another. And I think now that we know that Randy
Their
Orton...
last televised match against each other was 2017 on SmackDown.
Wow.
Ah, okay. Wow. So it's weird to say that 2017 was 8 years ago.
Yeah, this was when Orton was with the Wyatt family.
That's right. Yes.
Oh my god, wow.
So, knowing what we know now following WrestleMania, Matt, I want to especially ask your opinion on this. I want your take. Does Orton immediately going after John Cena justify the near burial of the TNA World Champion?
He's speechless. He's speechless.
I wouldn't call it a full-on burial.
Well, Matt's officially broken.
But does it justify it at least?
No, it does. Yeah, no, it does, because I think he was going to be the next challenger regardless. Because he beat a world champion, now he's going to go after another one.
Oh, Mac saying you got to run Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank. I concur, but again, I'm biased.
I would love that.
You just have to. 14 years later?
Yeah, he wanted it on my birthday that week, on that day, so I'm like, yes, let's go.
That was iconic. We need to do a retro recap of Money in the Bank 2011. That would be a lot of fun.
I'd be down for that.
All right, but guys, who's ready to talk? Women's tag team action. We had women's.
Whoa.
Yes, there we go. That's the energy I want. Let's go.
Whoa,
Yeah, women's tag team titles rematch from WrestleMania. Champions Big Time Bex and Lyra Valkyria, the Birds of War, Matt, taking on Liv and Raquel. There were definitely some audio issues at the very beginning of this. You also had Tatum Paxley and Chi-Chi Dolan watching, because apparently they will be taking on the winner of this match tomorrow for NXT, so shout out to that. One thing is perfectly clear. We have, yet again, within a short time period, new
hours.
tag team champions once more, as Raquel and Liv have regained their titles. And all I could say, I wrote down in my notes, wow, Bex and Lyra just got Zack Rydered. After the match, Becky gets very upset and destroys Lyra in a move that I think everyone had saw coming miles and miles away. And we saw Lyra looking right at her. Why did she not defend herself? She was completely conscious. She could do so. I just want to throw this over to you guys. Matt, start us off.
You know what? Fun match, better than the Mania match. The crowd was really into it, and they lasted longer than Y2AJ.
That's valid. That's true.
My God.
As a tag team, yes.
That's a throwback.
But Bex turned heel. It had to. She was getting stale as a babyface. Maybe she'll be the female in the Dangerous Alliance group since Seth is there. Down the road, we'll see. But, it's going to be Becky Hogan running wild. Maybe she gets the Intercontinental belt to elevate it again.
Sister.
But, Liv Raquel is the right move for them being champions. All right, I'm done.
All right, all good. John?
It was an overall solid match. I mean, the result, it just makes me think it was a little silly taking Bayley out of WrestleMania just to have Becky Lynch have her moment last night. But, I'm excited to see Lyra and Becky go at it. Probably at Backlash for the IC title.
Yeah, I think Becky took out Bayley back. That's why I think that's going to be the thing.
Has to. And I can see, we're going to have a IC title match. Boom. Bex can probably take that right there. And you can go right into Becky and Bayley.
Yeah.
Which, I think that's absolutely going to elevate the IC title.
Mm-hmm.
Caesar?
Speaking of that whole scenario with the whole Becky and Bayley thing, doesn't that mean that Bayley's not a Grand Slam champ anymore because she's never held the IC or the US belt? So wouldn't she not be Grand Slam champ anymore?
I believe it will still count as she's going to be grandmothered in.
Before they got created.
Okay, that makes sense. Back to the thing at hand. Yeah, tonight's match was 10,000 times better than the match at Mania, which is the crazy part. The fact that the crowd was chanting to Becky to hit her one more time, multiple times, tells you that Becky's going to be the most anti-hero kind of character for a bit. So, I'm all for it. Let's just do it, see what happens. I was more happy to see her than to see Charlotte, to be honest.
Yeah, and this was most definitely, you can tell, a very Raw after WrestleMania crowd.
It was great.
Mac, I have to agree with you. I think a lot of us try to forget, especially that first night of WrestleMania. That was rough.
For what?
It was sandwiched between some decent stuff. Apart from Bayley's attack in the pre-show, you had the AAA news, and then you had a really solid main event triple threat. And then
the U.S. title match was fine. The BFT counter was awesome. Ray Phoenix did good, but I just wish I had a couple more minutes with Grande Americano, the new legend.
El Starbucks,
It's a legend.
Yep, and then, the main event was just great.
exactly. And
Max not wrong.
Max saying Lyra is a beautiful bird lady.
Woo!
You leave her alone. Birds of war. All
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Matt, was that you that sent that meme? That has
Yes,
just stayed within my head.
D's a, yeah, she's D. D's a bird. So.
Ah! Oh, exactly. All right, but we go from the women's tag team division over to the men's tag team division.
Yay.
New Day walks to the ring in full jackets amid what was apparently 100-degree heat in Las Vegas.
And no pop.
No, there wasn't any pop.
No heat. Like, no reaction.
Wait,
The only heat was outside.
The crowd went mild.
I got a Canadian in this. Hold on.
Oh.
Ugh. 100 Fahrenheit. That's what it is in Canadian. Ugh.
Oh, but
Psychopath.
hey, coming out there were the Alpha Babes, Otis and Akira Tozawa. They are issuing a
With their
challenge, and
mouthpiece.
can we give some credit to Maxine? Like, she came out there feeling so confident in her mic work, it almost seemed that she was doing this for years.
She was savage, but it was good.
Yeah, like
I was like, yo, she got kidnapped and replaced? What?
I was all for it. Like, it's like one of those, like, you hear it happen, you kind of go, okay, let her cook. And she destroyed them by calling them 1 minute men.
one of the mic masters backstage, like CM Punk probably morphed into Maxine to go and do that segment.
Has a little earpiece, and, okay, just say these lines.
Follow along exactly with what I say. But
Oh,
you know
God.
what? We didn't get much time for this because all of a sudden, the lights went
Yeah!
out. And guess what, boys? It's Rusev Day.
Yeah!
Woo! Rusev is back.
That's Rusev.
And Rusev came back with a vengeance. New
By
Day
himself, too.
he was all alone. There was no
Good.
Lana, no one else there. It was just him. And New Day, they just got right out of there. Tozawa, you do not exist anymore. It basically reminded me of like when Spike Dudley got annihilated by Brock Lesnar back in 2002 for Brock's debut. I was getting vibes of that. And then don't forget,
This was the trash can.
and don't forget, in the same vein, you had Brock killing Rikishi, and you had here Rusev basically killing and obliterating poor Otis. And Otis, a big guy. Tozawa got a lot of experience, one of the last remaining wrestlers from that cruiserweight division from about 10 years ago. So the fact that both those guys were taken out so quickly, so brutally, and so effectively, I think we're going to be seeing some more things with Monster Rusev. I almost kind of wished he would come back out later on and start destroying more and more people, but I want to throw this to you guys. Caesar, your thoughts?
Imagine him and Paul Heyman together.
Well, you never know. He's already got a couple of monsters with him.
No, okay. So to wrap up the whole thing, yeah, it was cool to hear Maxine actually talking, and to kind of paraphrase Matt, did she get kidnapped and replaced? Like, I agree with that. I was listening and I had my headphones and turned up the volume. I was like, that's not Maxine. I leaned in the room. That is Maxine. What the hell? As for Rusev coming back, I'm actually curious to see what he does, because I hope he doesn't just get kept in the mid card. But we can only sit here and wait. Time will tell, and we'll have a podcast to sit down and discuss this with the same 4 people every week. So,
Oh, yeah, we're consistently going to be here every Monday. This very group.
4 people.
John?
I did not expect that this is the last place I expected Rusev to come in.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be he was gonna have a tag team partner. He just came out here and killed everyone. I want to see what they
Rusev.
do with him next. So, yeah, please. I want to see what's next for Rusev after this.
1v50.
Is it bad? I almost thought that like in English was going to come out too.
Oh.
Rusev Day. Yeah, Mac, exactly. Rusev, Braun, Seth, the new Dangerous Alliance. Sign me up for that.
Would they
Matt?
add a female too?
Yeah, it'd be
Probably.
Becky.
Yeah, Becky, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old Dangerous Alliance. They have Medusa.
Yeah, be her husband.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Imagine that idea, hey?
It works out. They'll travel together and everything. Matt?
Fine segment. Good to see Rusev back. I want to see how he does. I hope he keeps the Redeemer part of his character and not just Rusev Day. I'm sure there'll be some tie-ins for it, but I want a serious Rusev. So we'll see what happens if in the next couple of weeks. I feel like it's going to be him and Otis next week.
Yeah. Unless it's Tozawa.
I like Tozawa, so he can bump.
Why not? Yeah, everyone needs a Spike Dudley.
Exactly, and that's him.
Exactly. Well, hey, we're going to follow that up with the Jey Uso Championship Celebration. And we got a note right here that commentary was joining in as the crowd was chanting, he tapped out. Even before anything happened, I wrote in my notes, oh no, because I had a feeling that was going to lead to something bad. I just didn't expect it so soon.
I think you jumped over something.
What'd I jump over?
You said the Jey Uso promo.
Jey Uso celebrates next.
Wasn't it the Io Sky thing first?
Oh yeah.
Ah, yes, you are right. Caesar,
Yeah!
thank you. All right, we're going to rewind from there. Ignore anything Jey Uso related. Io Sky, speaking of world champions, Io Sky wanted to talk about her title reign, but hey, guess what? Another legendary, iconic, fantastic, great women's champion comes out. It's Stephanie Vaquer, and she says, haha, hee hee, and guess what, guys? We have a match, champion versus champion. It's still so cool to me that in WWE we can have women's champion versus champion matches. So much progress has been made. It's great. And speaking of great, I think this match, all in all, was great. If you missed it, please do yourself a favor after this. Go and check it out. Without a doubt, I'm going to say, spoiler alert, this is my match of the night, through and through. And it was a fantastic match that unfortunately had to end from abrupt terms as Roxanne Perez, who has a match with Stephanie Vaquer tomorrow night on NXT, ran in to attack, and the match ends. But it wasn't just her. We also had Julia joining on in there, and the assault continued until "This is my brutality" as Mommy Eradicator Rhea Ripley comes in to stop things and save the day, having a very brutal-looking shiner over her eye. But this was a great match. This was really awesome to see all of these women getting showcased. Does this mean we have potential call-ups for the women here, or is it just more promo for NXT? I want your guys' thoughts on that and the match itself. Let's see, who's going to start us off? John.
It was a great match. I think if Stephanie Vaquer gets called up, she's losing the belt on NXT. But she'll be in the main event scene right off the bat, right off rip with Io Sky. And like you said, back-to-back Io Sky matches of the night. That was a great match.
Right. Absolutely. Let's see, who's going to be next? I'm going to roll Matt.
I'm gonna be a dick. Man, she would have been on Collision by now if she wasn't.
Oh.
Is it that he's not wrong?
No, I like Vaquer.
Hey, now Collision's been solid last couple of weeks. To be fair,
but it's only on Saturday.
Heck yeah.
But I said she wouldn't be getting the spotlight, man.
But yeah, no, she deserves the spotlight.
No, she's a fantastic talent, though. I like the match. The right outcome. You couldn't have one beat the other, especially when they're both champions.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to call up quite yet. I think it will happen, but I think it could happen, like a tag match, crossover type of thing. Get more intrigue for NXT. But I'm excited, man. Yeah, fine. I don't care. No fucks given.
Matt versus Matt at
I'm tired of saying we're all these biased stands for companies, man. I have no allegiance. Not even on my own show, damn it.
Matt loves wrestling, that's it.
I like wrestling. I don't like promotions. I don't like fans. Fuck you.
I just hate pro wrestling in general. You know what? We're done here. No more show.
Alright, good talk. It was a good episode.
You booze me enough, but I see what makes you cheer.
Alright, well, Matt goes into the Angry Dome. Caesar.
The Angry Dome, live every Monday.
I would love
to be in the Angry Dome.
No, it was a wicked match. I was excited to see the two of them going for it. I'm glad they didn't have anyone lose, technically, but there was a DQ, but you know, that's what happens. It was cool to see the girls come out from NXT and do some time. Rhea, I don't know. I'm impartial. I could care less if she showed up. I was having fun with the four of them already.
I think
it was John or it was Mac, one of you guys said it, about if she drops the belt that she's getting called up. Yeah, 100%. Not not the next week, but like if she drops it tomorrow, then she'll be up
Probably a couple months.
soon. Let's use that word.
Yep.
Or
That nice
SummerSlam.
4-lettered word that says, not tomorrow.
I could see maybe SummerSlam weekend. She gets called up around there.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I could see that.
Woo!
So, all right, now we'll get back to the Jey Uso Championship celebration, brought to you by Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer. All right,
Imagine
So-
that.
guys, I say on 3, we'll all go yeet. 1, 2, 3, yeet.
Yeet.
No yeet.
No yeet.
No yeet.
Oh no, yeet.
I was waiting for Sammy to do the no yeets.
So that's the thing. Sami Zayn comes out. Sami Uso, no talk, only hugs. Crowd is going Usi, Usi, Usi. And you know what? There was a point in time they were celebrating up on each end of the ring, up on the corners. And Sammy jumps back down and has some dark thoughts in his mind.
Spooky
You could
thoughts.
tell there's something going on there before Jay jumps back down, and it's all good because out comes Big Jim. And now
To
we
zero
have
pop.
3 brothers reunited, celebrating one of the brothers getting a major world championship title. No sign of a potential challenger. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? One of the things I did write down in my notes, though, was the fact that a trios title with Sammy, Jay, and Jim would have been so cool. Even though they don't have any trios titles, I just thought that would be fun to have those
2
guys
weeks
in there.
later, we're announcing a new title belt.
No more belts. No more.
No
fucking
more.
belts.
If
No
they
more.
annou- if
No
in
more.
2 weeks,
Hey, they
if
love
in-
their marketing.
If in 2
No
weeks
more.
they come up with a trios belt, I'm gonna DM Unique and be like, "You son of a bitch."
Manifested it. It's there now,
They
baby.
won't, and they won't call it trios. They won't call it 6-man. They'll be like, "We're original. We're gonna call it something else." Like this is the multi-man belt or something, or
The
something.
Freebird belts.
Yeah, it's something
The
super
Freebird championship.
out there. It won't be traditional name either.
No
This is the
traditional
3
name.
guys belt.
3 guys.
No,
No,
something.
not
weird.
5 guys, just 3 guys. Really
Yeah.
did a number on my stomach. All right, so we're gonna throw this on out there. We're gonna roll my 1d6, and we're gonna go with Caesar.
Oh, about the whole Jey Uso thing, yeah. They did chant actually Sammy Uso, which I thought was pretty cool.
Mhm.
I won't lie, I was writing some stuff down. I looked up and I saw, like you were saying, Sammy was staring at him, and you could feel it. Like he wanted to, like, just poke through and just run at him. But of course, he kept himself together.
Do.
Damn it. As for Challenger, is it weird that I kind of want them to take a different approach to do maybe a tournament or like a battle royale for a Challenger for now? Because we're only in the Backlash part of the year, so maybe Gunther comes back for a rematch or something. Like, they're not going to put something crazy together for Backlash. There'll be something pretty minimal. But not Sammy versus Jay. They won't do that.
We're gonna talk about it in a moment, but I think Gunther might have potentially screwed himself out of any upcoming world title rematches.
Yeah,
Why?
Not now.
We'll talk in like a few minutes here.
Yeah, we'll go over that in a bit. Ooh, Max suggests Logan Paul.
Mac,
That is,
you're out. Mac, give me your car keys. You're done.
I could actually see that.
Mac,
they
give me your
they
car
could work
keys.
quite well together.
Yeah,
but-
they'll probably be like a Saudi show or something, because that's where his title matches usually are.
Or no
All right.
one wants to see them.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey there, Tony. The show was stacked and
Hey,
power
Tony.
packed. Absolutely.
Better than Mania, though? That's the vote so far.
Definitely better than Night 1 of Mania, that is for sure.
Ooh.
All right, let's see. Matt, your thoughts?
I was waiting for that haluva kick during the celebration. I'm like, come on, give it to me. But I feel like they might have a match. I feel like they're gonna have a match eventually. But yeah, as for next challenger, I feel like it's gonna be Logan, because he could afford a loss and he'll be fine. He's a piece of shit, but he's a good worker.
Just got the WrestleMania win, so he could take a loss after that. That
Exactly.
50-50 booking style of theirs. John?
I thought it was heel turn for Sammy tonight, but whoever his next opponent is, it can make or break his title reign, because Jey Uso is kind of stinky, so he needs a good dance partner for Backlash.
Rusev.
Oh man, that's so. Max saying Fightful reported tonight's show was not centered around wrestling matches, but written for surprises, returns, and other stuff.
We have 3 matches on the 3-hour show. No shit.
Yeah, it was so weird to go through and just be like, wow, there actually were only 3 matches.
But the show flowed so good tonight.
Yeah.
It did. You know, if they can maximize how that works, then you know it doesn't matter.
There's episodes I'll watch where I'm like looking at my watch, going, "Okay, we're like 30 minutes in, and I'm falling asleep."
Yeah.
So tonight wasn't one of those.
Yeah, no, this flowed way better and was not nearly as slow as night 1 of WrestleMania. I think words cannot do it justice. That has been a theme we have been revisiting all night long on here.
We and the chat.
Yes, absolutely. And all throughout the social media universe. But hey, getting back to it, we just mentioned Logan Paul. Karrion Kross still is just not happy about what happened with AJ Styles losing at WrestleMania, and it seems that Karrion Kross is going to be bearing the cross and taking matters into his own hands.
Dude, Karrion's always salty.
Speaking of the salt,
Damn it,
Caesar
Mac.
does wrestling in his wrestling
Hey,
Hey, those pesky wrestling matches are in the way.
I got to see
On my
Stephanie Vaquer
television.
tonight. I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy.
Especially with a lot of camera shots. There was a lot of people very happy.
If Booker T was here tonight, who was it that said that? When
They,
you guys
yeah.
Oh,
they
yeah,
shouted
man.
out.
Yeah, if Booker was here tonight, he'd be done. I was like, yeah, pretty
Good.
much said it.
He can die a happy death finally.
No, he wouldn't die a happy death. He would just die. He'd be like,
Hey, you
Oh,
want to
yeah,
talk
right.
about someone dying? Get ready, because Gunther
Drumroll.
kills Pat McAfee. There's not much else to say about that. Gunther is just holding him.
Cooper needed to do this.
Gunther's holding Pat in such a strong sleeper, and people are like, the way they're grabbing him, you can see the claw marks and scratches along his arm. Like, I feel like this is the other end of the spectrum. Like, on this side, you're gonna have like The Rock, you know, doing that thing for, you know, all the goosebumps he's feeling, and then on the other side of the coin, you're gonna have like the gouging of Gunther's arm from just everything going on here. And it was pretty cool the way they did this too, with not calling attention to the Pat McAfee show crew jumping the barricade. The boys even trying to come and help out there, but Gunther's just such a powerhouse. And this is all just Pat trying to protect Michael Cole. And that was such a wild scene. Again, this is another one of those things after this, if you don't know what we're talking about, number one, why are you watching this show? But number two, definitely go check it out. Even rewatch it. It was well done how they went through and handled all of this. But I want to throw it over to you guys. What did we think of this segment? John?
Gunther is my world champion after that. He eliminated a cancer in the WWE commentary team. Took out Pat McAfee.
There we go.
He did good. He deserves that title shot rematch.
There you
But
go.
unfortunately, I think this is leading to a Pat McAfee Gunther match when he comes back.
I hope
Yeah.
it's a squash.
Hopefully. The unstoppable monster for years. Imagine if he gets annihilated by Pat McAfee. The way Pat McAfee got killed by Vince.
The crew is gonna help him win, and they're gonna start a Kyoto anime fire on his show.
You know this. We're going to lead to a moment. I'm calling it right now. I'm sure you guys also predict the same thing. They're going to have a fight on the Pat McAfee show.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have some.
There's gonna have to be a fight.
There has to be. It's going to happen. Just wait. Caesar, your thoughts on everything?
It caught me off guard. You know, when you're just watching certain things, you hear talking, you're like, okay, whatever, shit's gonna happen. It happens. But the fact that you had him push Pat McAfee and he caught some air, and then Pat goes at him and like clocks him. You know, Pat may not be some people's favorite, but damn, that's pretty intense. I'm just curious to see what happens in the next little while here. I mean, are we gonna pull the usual he's being sued card? Is he suspended for 2 weeks, 3 weeks kind of thing?
All of that is technically viable. There are a lot of witnesses to this incident.
Just a couple.
Matt?
Oh no, I'm just happy Goofer to start murdering people. We need that, especially after him tapping out. Don't choke me out. Also, do not choke me. Just call it like I sees it. Choked. Just choke them. Just choke Pat McAfee. Keep choking him. Until he goes away. Forever.
Yeah, but I mean, getting back to it, you know who did not go away was Michael Cole, who had the opportunity to head home early, but Michael Cole, you know, he doesn't stand for any of that bullying.
We need an opinion. Like, just shut the fuck up.
Backlash. Michael Cole versus Gunther.
Michael Cole remembers to not be a bully, be a star, so he went right back out there and joined up with the
Only
Phil.
Vince did that.
He joins
Dude.
the Phil, Joe Tessitore, who for some reason
Joey
takes
T.
off his jacket first and then puts it back on. So, yeah,
Joey
thanks,
T want to fight, that's why.
thanks, Joey T. But you know what? It was pretty cool to see Michael Cole going back to commentary and just getting all kinds of cheers.
Dude, it was loud.
One of the biggest reactions of the night by far.
Yeah.
Like I that was Rusev's return level reaction for Michael Cole.
But it was...
A commentator gets the biggest pop.
It's... Yeah, it was great. That's all I got on that one.
Exactly, and then that leads us up to the last thing that we're going to be discussing here for tonight. And for those of you who might have just joined us recently, we talked about the main event, the final segment, right there at the very start of our show. So when we're done here, please go back to the very beginning if you would like to hear our thoughts on that segment with the new Heyman crew. But Dirty Dom is going to defend the IC title up against Penta, and let the record show, Dom is busy honoring, like 50 luchadors at once with his attire and the way he's got his tattoos and his hair and everything, like Super Porky, Jerry Estrada, Paraguayo Sr. and Jr., La Parca, even Eddie, of course, his dad. But, kudos to Penta for putting up a great fight against the entirety of the Judgment Day up until, wait a minute, he forgot about one. J.D. McDonough makes his grand return from that really hefty injury. That looked so bad when that happened.
J.D. McFunko is back.
It's good he's back.
Fake Finn Balor.
Like him or not.
I'm glad that he is able to come back because that injury he had was so brutal. So kudos to him for being able to come back. He looked great, and it was awesome to see Dom having a successful title defense after defeating Mr. Penta. There's a little bit of trouble in paradise, though. It didn't seem like Finn was all too thrilled to be partying with the rest of the Judgment Day, but Carlito was happy, and Carlito's happiness is my happiness. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with that, or maybe you thought the match was garbage, or maybe you love this match. Maybe this will be your match of the night. So I want to throw this out to you guys. Matt, start us off.
Decent match. Also, guys, Penta's not buried. Shut up. I know you're all thinking it.
Those Lucha Brothers keep getting buried. They should have stayed in AEW to get buried there.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing this. He's doing the same thing here. I know, but he's free there. He's free. One's home, one's free. Shut up, both of you suck.
Well, Matt just pissed off the internet.
Good to see JD back, and I'm glad Dom is still the champion.
Absolutely.
But if it's getting kicked out, I'm happy for that.
Mac brings up a very interesting point. Penta was the one getting pinned by Finn last night before Mysterio won. How does he become the #1 contender?
Wrestling.
Because rematch.
Gotta get that rematch.
It's wrestling.
Braun's busy, and he's not gonna take on his boy, so it leaves us with Penta.
Better things. Just need to waste time with
Braun's busy killing people on the other side. That's why. As
one does. All right, let's throw this over to you, John.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to this match, and they delivered. It was a good match overall. I'm happy to see JD back. Carlito's happy. He got his toast in earlier in the night with the belts in his apple.
Exactly.
They did a thing out there. The Penta will probably be back soon for another title because he didn't lose clean. So he'll be back. He's not buried.
No, not at all. Caesar?
It was a good match. I'll give him that. It wasn't one of those like stellar 7 out of 3 star BS kind of things. It was good, but you could tell when these kind of matches happen that the person who's the new champion is going to go over. And of course, Dom did. Congratulations there. And then of course, Lord Farquaad, Funko Pop showed back up again. Thankfully, healthy and able to function.
True.
And of course, to all of us, I'm pretty sure right now are thinking about, what is Finn's thoughts right now going in to, the next,
And is JD gonna go with Finn or stay with Judgment Day?
I think he'll stay with Judgment Day with Dom personally, but who knows?
Good, like, oh yeah, he's the only one that checked on me in the hospital when I punctured my lung.
Oh, just put it in.
Finn was just worried about himself.
So, good to see him back.
Good to see him back. Lots of options there. At this point in time, fellas, I think it's time to go through a few quick segments. We don't have a graphic for this, but real quick, match of the night. I am going to personally go. I mean, is there any other option? Io Sky, Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah!
Around the clock. You guys agree with that, Matt? You agree, John?
I agree.
Hell yeah.
All right. Perfect. We didn't even need to have a graphic for that, but you know what we will have a graphic for? We're going to have a graphic for the Jobber of the Night, Gilbert. Who's our Gilbert? There's not really many options, though we do have ones outside of things. If I'm going to start us off here, I'm going to go with CM Punk because he got absolutely obliterated and got almost zero offense in. So they spent too much money on his music yesterday or the day before, so they had to kind of recoup that cost. All right, we'll throw this over. Go around the clock. Matt?
I'm not going to disrespect my boy Punk like this, but no, I'll give it to Live Valkyria. Lost the tag belts, lost her mentor, got her ass whooped. So thanks for coming, Lyra.
Thank you for coming, Lyra. John?
Pat McAfee. Just because he's Pat McAfee.
Nah, I should
Just because.
He did get absolutely wrecked, that's for sure. Caesar?
American Alpha for basically being Rusev's punching bags tonight.
That is a great choice, and that brings us to Megastar of the Night. And, whoa, you know what, Caesar? I'm going to just pick right up from where you left off. My Megastar of the Night, the returning Rusev. He's got to be the Megastar on Rusev Day, of course. All right, we're going back around the clock. Matt?
Braun Breaker. Spearing the tribal chief like that.
That's a big win.
Yeah, they treat it like a fucking joke. Like revenge from the Royal Rumble.
Absolutely. John?
Gunther taking out Pat McAfee like that was actually stellar work. Stellar work on Gunther's part. Megastar tonight.
John's just like, you killed Pat.
I was waiting for if they had a match, he would give a match of the night, and I would respect that. Like match of the night, like Gunther for squashing him.
We'll count it.
I don't care about that 5-star match. It's about Gunther choking on Pat McAfee.
That match is really good though. I don't give a shit.
5 stars.
Fuck the belt to
I
stone.
don't care about 7-star Will Ospreay matches. I mean, for Pat McAfee, matches.
Yeah.
Your dad's gonna ground you when he gets home, but there we go.
Your dad's watching like, you little shit. I heard that.
Well, John, it was great having you on Jersey Radio while we could. I'm going to miss you when you're gone, buddy, but...
2 minutes later, you get a phone call. He's going to get a phone call from his dad.
Oh, John's calling me. Oh, I got to take someone off the air. All right, well, anyways, going back to... No.
Heel move.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I absolutely agree with you, though, John. Like, Gunther, fantastic choice. All right.
Oh, my God.
And that leaves, last but most certainly not least, Mr. Caesar.
If those of our amazing crew have seen me over the weekend with my stupidity in regards to wrestlers, and then, of course, it's tonight's debuting...
Don't manifest it, Mac.
Debut. I'm going to give it to a one woman because I don't actually do the NXT show, so I can say it over here. I'm giving it to La Primera. You can call me
good choice.
Simp, obsessed, whatever. Look at her.
Lord Jesus, yes.
Yeah. Hallelujah!
The peach.
What do you like about her? Yes.
All of it.
Listen, I'm going to say this straight now because I make this joke all the time. She's the reason Duolingo subscriptions are going up. That's it.
Watch, there actually is like a correlation.
You're welcome, Duolingo.
Why they'll never skip a lesson.
No, I'm about to ace that shit twice over.
Somewhere in like a Duolingo corporate office, they're gonna be making up a presentation called the Vaquer effect.
Ooh, I'll be in the front row. Acing that shit, blindfolded, don't studying.
All right, fellas. Well, we went over the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. We're gonna
With
go
the
in
4 originals.
the 4 originals. We're gonna be constantly on this show, this main group of 4,
Yes.
every week, forever.
There you
But
go.
I want to real quick go the other way around the clock, and I want to see, all in all, whole show. What did you guys think of this, Caesar?
Well, to beat everyone else to the punch, because I get to be the lucky one to say it, better than a lot of Mania. Done. That's the easy way of explaining it.
That is so true. Absolutely. John?
This was one of the first Raws I actually sat down and watched through. So it
Nope,
was better.
I agree with him.
I actually sat down and paid attention to what was going on. I haven't done that in a while. And this is definitely one of the better Raw after Mania's last couple of years too. It was
Absolutely.
an overall good show, better than night 1.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't watch a lot of full shows anymore because I either pass out or get bored. But this one actually paid attention. This one I paid attention. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see what happened, because after what happened with the main event of night 2 and anticlimactic, whatever you want to call it, this one's just like, all right, let's see what they got. Let's see what the new season, essentially, if you will, is. And it's like, all right, so we got new stories, new feuds, potential new call-ups, and we've got more for NXT and SmackDown for the after Mania. So I'm excited to see how those are gonna go.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of stuff at play here. And, speaking of which, we've been seeing those promo videos and packages for SmackDown. Someone's coming, maybe coming back. Maybe it is Aleister Black.
It's the Block.
About time, sir. You're like a week late.
Yeah, listen, bud.
Like, where were you Sunday? You could have
My
dropped instead of Hendrix.
He was supposed to be there, but, he was in his hotel room busy going like,
Guys, I can't feel my arm.
I get it.
yeah, we've all been there. But hey, I have to agree with what all of you guys said across the board. This episode of Raw was miles better than most definitely night 1 and certain parts of night 2 as well. I had a lot of fun with this, and you know what? I had a lot of fun with you guys.
Yay!
I want to thank you guys for joining me, chat. I want to also thank you guys for joining us here tonight. And you know what? Let's get some music going, because guess what? This is Dirt Sheet Radio. Dirt Sheet Radio is always on. You think we're just going to be talking Monday Night Raw? You're going to be wrong about that, because we will be talking about so much more throughout the week and looking at everything from WrestleMania. Make sure you go and check out some of our WrestleMania recap videos. Myself and the man, the myth, the legend, John Escudero, who is right there on the other corner. We were going through all kinds of things from WrestleMania. We killed it, man. We killed it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Absolutely, brother. But you know what? Here's one of the biggest things, too. We, like I said, are always on. You can join us. This very group will always be on Monday nights. It'll never change. This group of 4 perpetually. We're also going to have Tuesday nights for NXT. Wednesdays, you got the flagship Dirt Sheet Radio podcast. There's going to definitely be maybe a John Escudero, maybe 2 John Escuderos. Hey, you never know. Get ready for the 3rd John Escudero to show up there. But hey, you know what? We also have Thursdays. Hey, the TNA guy is here. TNA.
Here we go. I'll be here Sunday for Rebellion.
Yes, shout out too. And on top of that, Fridays, sometimes we'll be doing SmackDown. It's a 3-hour show. It's so brutal. Please, just take it easy on us for that, okay? When it goes back to 2 hours, we'll do that a lot more consistently. But most likely, though, we'll be doing one probably. But I also want to shout out the WCW show. You saw our guy Mac, my WCW Tag Team Champion, my WCW Tag Team partner. We will be talking all about Starrcade 1985, The Gathering. There's a lot of great stuff on there. You got Flair and Dusty. Of course, the legendary I Quit Steel cage match between Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard. I cannot wait to talk about that. It's going to probably be us and our boy Robbie. I want to also throw the invite. All of you guys are welcome to join us if you feel like it. We're probably going to be doing that, I believe, May the 2nd we decided on. So make sure you stay tuned and go and check that out when the time comes. And we went around the clock a bunch of times on here, so I want to also really quickly do that once I finish up with some promos I just remembered I did not get to. We also have 3NT, the boys, on the weekends. You got CJ and Tyler with the Dubs with their weekend wrestling roundup. Of course, Matt, we got some other shows on too, right? Tell us a little bit about Otaku.
Otaku Cafe every Tuesday. We'll be here tomorrow. We're going to be finally reviewing the new spring anime episodes. We did first impressions last week, so full on reviews here. Check it out. I'll be writing my first impression article on Comic Book Click very soon this week, hopefully tomorrow, or get it started tomorrow. Check out what I feel about the new shows for the spring season.
I'm ready for that. I'm also ready whenever the time comes, my man. I can't wait for when I get to be on one of those episodes with you. That's going to be fun.
Let me know when.
Yes, sir. And hey, on top of that, chat, thank you so much for joining us. I want to go real quick around the clock, and I want to go and see where we can find all of these fine gentlemen on the social media platforms. So, Matt, where are they going to find you?
On Twitter at DamienPhoenix12, on Instagram, House Husband Cosplay. For my Otaku Cafe, find it on Facebook. We're live on Dirt Sheet. On Twitter at Otaku Cafe. Same thing with Instagram, Threads. Check us out all there. And like I said, check out my articles on Comic Book Click for all your geeky pop culture, social medias, whatever it is.
Right on. Absolutely, my man. John, where are they going to find you?
You can see my more personal life on Instagram, JohnnyBoy_08. I'll start posting more professional wrestling on Twitter under John's Ring as I get more active with Dirt Sheet Radio. You can find me on there.
Yeah. All right, let's get it. Caesar, where are they going to find you, my man?
As always, I'm hanging out here with these three specifically every Monday night, discussing Monday Night Raw. And if you feel like talking to me on the socials or making fun of me for something stupid I said on here, you can get hold of me on X with the name. There you go, right here. There you go, YouTube. And you can sit there and talk to me and tell me whatever you think about it. And share memes. I don't know.
Yeah, perfect. And hey, chat, again, I want to just throw out there, you can find me on Facebook, sharing throughout Dirt Sheet Radio's content at Nick LaRocco. And guys, we hit 52,000 followers on the Nick LaRocco page. So chat, thank you so much for helping me get to that mark. So let's try and get to 53 and beyond. So hey, for myself, for Matt, for John, for Caesar, for the other John, for Tyler. Who's Tyler? Hey, we'll see him again soon. For the entirety of the Dirt Sheet Radio team, thank you so much for hanging out with us, for joining us. This has been a great WrestleMania weekend, and I can't wait for next year. We'll see you guys next time. See you tomorrow for NXT.
Bye-bye.